Get the Angel Reese special at McDonald's now. Let's break it down. My favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun, of course. And don't forget the fries and a drink. Sound good? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating restaurants for a limited time.
This new year, why not let Audible expand your life by listening? Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals that'll inspire and motivate you. Tap into your well-being with advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on better health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. Maybe you want to kick a bad habit or start a good one. If you're interested in learning how to master your emotions and hearing scientifically backed advice for using your emotions as a tool, may I suggest Shift by psychologist and bestseller author Dr. Ethan Kross? Trust me, listening on Audible can help you reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Get this, adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Wondery. greenlight.com/Wondery.
This episode brought to you by the following patrons: Leaf Girl, Min, Jason, Sex Caliber Bones a Lot, Madeline, Alyssa, Vixen, Holly, Laura, Jeremy with the laser eyes, Allie, Logan, Libby, Aaron, Kristen, Tia, and Jonathan. And all the patrons want you to know you're loved, you're listened to, and you're a valuable member of this awesome Horror Virgin community. And if you want to hang out with us, do so in the Facebook group where we'll be hanging out daily.
I like how Mikey's first episode back, he picked a movie about the most environmentalist murderer we've ever had.
I thought you would love this movie. I thought everyone should love this movie.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't like it because it's the truth. Thank you for tuning into Horror Virgin. I'm Paige.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm your Horror Virgin Todd, which means I don't like scary movies and you guys make me watch them. But this week, my friend Mikey came back to the show and wanted us to watch
Motel Hell.
So tell me, friends, is this your first trip to Motel Hello?
Yes, this was my first stay at the Motel Hell. Thank you.
Same.
I filled out my comment card and left it at the front desk.
Mikey, tell me about all the toys you played with in front of this movie while it played on a loop as a child.
This is going to be kind of surprising for you both, but I had not watched this film before.
This is your first time seeing this movie? Holy shit.
There's certain movies that I have researched in my years of potting. To be like, that's something that I will love. I will hold off on this until I need to do it.
We all experienced it together.
Wow.
I read enough about it to know what I was getting into, but I had the self-discipline to wait.
That makes me so happy.
Honestly, that's shocking. Can I ask, what did you think about it tonight when you watched it, guys?
No notes.
Ooh, I have a lot of thoughts. The thing about them is that none of them are good or bad. I have no judgment either way on this film. I just have facts. First of all, if you watch the credits of this movie, they are in a very cool font. Loved that. But this is one of those movies where every name you see is crazier than the last. And you're like, a crew member is named Wolfman Jack? Like, what is happening?
No, Wolfman Jack, he's famous. He's a famous radio host. He's the one who was going to marry them.
Is that the guy? Is the preacher? Okay,
yes.
Okay. That makes so much more sense. Okay.
He was in a lot of 80s movies, I think.
He looked familiar.
He had a very distinctive and terrible voice.
I think he was a very famous radio guy, but I also don't know. So this is just context clues.
He was also ADR'd the entire time, which was hysterical. I also loved that we never, ever really find out the relationship between the two people that live in the motel. My guess is brother and sister. But this movie...
It is brother and sister.
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
Yes.
It has to be.
You mean Ida and Vincent?
Ida, yes.
What's the farmer's name?
Vincent is the. Oh my God, guys! Did I pay the most attention? I barely paid attention. So, guys, it's Vincent is the murderer. Ida is his sister, and Sheriff Bruce is their younger brother.
Which is bonkers because Vincent is old enough to be their parent and by like a long shot. So, but this movie pays no attention to ages because the guy that Terry was on the motorcycle with was also like Vincent's age. There's a whole bunch of weird going on.
I mean, Paige, that checks out. I mean, like,
she has a type. She's got a type.
She dates 3 different men in this movie.
I would say she only dates 2 men in this movie, and Bruce was wishful thinking the whole time.
Yeah, she only dates Bruce when he saves her life from her current boyfriend.
Right.
Okay. But like her boyfriend died the day before and she goes on a date with Bruce and then the next day decides to marry his significantly older brother.
It's more than one day, but the movie is very unclear about how many days. She's been there for a couple weeks, but the movie is not clear.
Look, Bruce gave her the ick,
right?
And Vincent
gave her
the stick of meat because he smokes the meats.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what his favorite steakhouse is, Paige? The Rizzler.
The Rizzler? But also Ida, in a house full of meat, seems to only eat whipped cream and marshmallows with various jams that she keeps in lotion pumps. I don't know what was happening there. That was nuts.
She is crazy. Like,
she's crazy.
Fully crazy. The whole movie. She's definitely trying to eat the stuff.
She puts whipped cream on a chicken wing.
I thought that was the stuff. That was actually exactly what I was referencing. I was like, is that the stuff she's put on a chicken wing?
No, it was whipped cream because she has the like spray bottle. Anyway, this movie also, I have never since Mad Men Mars seen less causality in a film where the film just goes scene to scene and is like, you get it. And you're like, I really don't.
But you do. You do get it, Paige.
I mean,
you don't need causality for Mikey movies. You just need them to show us things. And then we show us more things.
That's exactly what happens in this movie.
We show us things, and then we show us more things.
We show us more things.
Does House 2 have causality?
I still haven't seen it, but...
Oh,
Paige,
wow.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't on the episode. We keep going back to their, like, head farm, and then he'll just have a speech about, like, do you think they'll understand what we're doing in the scientific world? I'm like, I don't even understand why you're doing it in this movie.
Paige, he's, quote, sending them to Mars, which is exactly, I think, what Elon Musk means when he says about how he's going to Mars, because all that is ending up with a noose around your neck and getting yanked till dead.
Look, he's Leatherface. He's Leatherface with a conscience, okay?
Sure. Yes, I would agree with you.
A conscience?
Yeah, he thinks he has a conscience. The Mars thing is just to like lull them into some sort of fugue state so that he can strangle them.
He fully hypnotizes them and breaks their neck. He doesn't strangle them.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like he pulls their head off with a like tractor.
Well, what is a hanging if not a quick strangle, you know?
Yeah. And he's hypnotizing them with the like glow lights from old aluminum Christmas trees. It's fucking nuts.
It looks like they bought a light bright and a fan and stuck them together.
And just went nuts.
Yes.
But with all of that said, all of the crazy things I just rambled about, I feel like I saw a bunch of my favorite bonkers B movies in this movie where I'm like, oh, that's clearly where Planet Terror got this. That's where Maxine got this. That's where this movie got this thing. And it's almost like every movie I love clearly saw this movie and saw something that they stole from it.
You're right, Paige. Every movie you love has a better 80s movie that it came from that I'd rather watch.
Birthed. Would you say this is your favorite movie from the 80s? The best movie in the 80s?
That came out in 1980.
That came out in 1980?
No. House 2 is still my favorite.
There's boobs in it.
There is boobs in it. But there's also morality where he says, put those boobs away.
Put those boobs away. We should be married.
We have to be married. Yes.
Did you guys know that this is the only horror film that is sanctioned by the Catholic Church because of that scene?
Oh yeah.
That was appropriate. Let me just tell you a few things about how I thought about this movie. Like, the dialogue is so bad, it's like you're watching a porn parody version of the movie that you're watching. Like, because it's like people keep saying things like,
It's like I've never tried ham before in my life.
I know.
Real line from this movie.
Say, how'd you like it if someday I taught you the ancient art of meat smoking? Tell me, how can I get more of your meats inside me, Vincent? Like, what? Fuck me with your meat stick, Vincent. Like, there's so much, like, sex in it.
I love the tagline / line of this movie of it takes all kind of critters to make Vincent's fritters.
Oh, I mean, they say that in the movie. Vincent says that to Ida, and then they laugh like it's funny.
It's fucking weird.
It would be if you were murdering a bunch of people.
No, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was an insane movie. Like, I knew it was going to be crazy when in, like, the first trap scene, we see a guy riding a motorcycle with his girlfriend, and it's dark out, and someone shoots their front tire, and they, like, crash, and as they're crashing, you realize there's a sidecar, and she's behind him.
That no one's in it, and she's on the back. I wrote that down too, Tom.
I was like, there's a whole car on the side for that, ma'am. So I knew from Jump Street, this is going to be an insane movie, and it lived up to that very high bar.
I don't know how I knew that you were going to take so much exception to no one riding in the sidecar, but I knew it in my bones, and I wrote it down.
Why have a sidecar and not, was there a dog in it? Was there a cute dog who just fell asleep on this long journey overnight?
That's where their luggage was.
Oh.
You know what? That's what saddlebags are for. You can eat a dick. Get in the sidecar, lady.
I just want to, I finally found in my notes where I wrote down what I thought was the craziest, bizarre sex line about meats. I do declare your smoked meats are superior. like they're the mom in sleepaway camp.
I think the most bonkers part of this film is that they mix pork with the human meat to have the perfect mixture.
Yes.
And they're not just cannibals. Like, that's too far. Like,
That's too far.
They have a perfect 70-30 blend or whatever.
I have a meat question, if y'all will entertain me.
Sure.
Paige, as meat havers, we can answer this.
Fantastic. When they're at the picnic and she says, it's like I've never had ham before in my entire life, which is one of my favorite things that happens in this movie. At that point, I had a moment where because at that point we already know that they're mixing human meat in with the pig meat. We know that from almost jump, but this movie feels like it needs an hour to tell us that. Anyway, we know. But at that point, I realized something, because there's two different kinds of ham. Right? I mean, there's many, but like two main. Either ham that's like on the bone that you would smoke like a Christmas ham, or like lunch meat kind of ham. So like deli ham.
Right. Sliced ham, if you will.
Sliced ham. And I realized it would have to be sliced ham in that moment because you don't mix ham that's on the bone. And so I was like, so this man is just feeding a woman deli ham? And she's just like, it's like I've never had ham before in my life.
He's just like slowly lowering loose meats onto her face as she like is on her knees, like trying to bite it. It is a sandwich-based porn comedy that I'm pitching. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Although I think we actually see a shitload of hot dogs in the background of one scene, so I thought he was making them hot dogs.
We see so many fucking hot dogs and sausages, and he's making like Slim Jims, and multiple people are like, by golly, this is the best, slimmest of Jims I've ever tried.
They love his jerky, guys.
They love his jerky, which is also something you don't mix.
If you want good head, you go to the secret garden.
Man, that's stepped all over the joke I wrote, which was, I got to get to this head garden. They're growing head on the ground, guys. It's coming up out of the ground.
Oh, it's such an elaborate way to be a cannibal. That's what I love about the film. That is the dumbest way to be a cannibal.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
My favorite part is there's no flavor reason for them to be buried for days.
Yes.
Well, they fatten them up. I guess, is that they put stuff down their throat.
Sure.
They feed them and season them.
I'll grant you that.
There's no reason. There's no reason
for them to be planted in the ground like Plants vs. Zombies,
right,
which is kind of what this movie becomes at the end. And like, that to me was hilarious. Like, I thought it was going to be like, what you need is 70% pork and 30% Dave aged for a week in Mississippi dirt or wherever they are. I don't know where they are, but like.
No, I love that.
Well, they never, for as much as they talk about it, they never explain any of it. at all.
How the mystery keeps going.
The mystery goes forever.
I can't wait till Motel Hell 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Back to your porno thoughts, though.
It's going to take a while if we got to get through all those, but okay.
Woo. The way this felt like a porno to me is because so many actors say their lines too fast. I assumed it was a directing error.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually when you see that, it's like an actor who doesn't understand pacing or whatever. But like, it's everyone. And so I assumed it must have been directed that way. But people are saying their lines so fast, they're stepping on each other's lines, like that scene in The Room at the flower shop. It's absurd. The entire movie is like that. It's crazy.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So I have a question for you vegans out there.
None of us can answer this for you.
No, I know. But like, would you
Wait,
eat...
before you ask the question, let me just say this. Guys, in the Spotify comments, tell me what parts of this movie made you think it was a porno. Anyway, Mikey, go.
Oh, that's a good question. It's a good interaction there. Vegans, would you eat people?
Well, I think they have a face, so probably not.
I feel like fundamentally they won't even eat animals, right? So probably not.
Okay, well, vegetarian. Like, why won't you eat people? That's all. Like they're planted like plants.
Are you asking vegans why they won't eat people? Like, I get the animal thing. Animals are great. You don't want to eat animals. Would you eat a baby though? Like a human baby? Would you eat a baby? Like, that's not what vegans are going to be even more against that than.
No, they're the most unmoral people that we have.
What if the baby's evil? What if it's baby Hitler? Would you eat baby Hitler to prevent the Holocaust?
Can we lose the mustache? I don't like hairy meats.
Sure. I mean, I'll shave a baby.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
It's already starting. The madness.
Welcome back, Mikey.
Whew.
I just, like, you vegans with your moral high ground, like, why wouldn't you eat people if we planted them everywhere? They're like half plants at that point.
Oh, so you're saying once a body's been planted, technically a vegan can eat it.
Loophole.
If you cut out a vocal cord of a person and plant it in a garden.
Yeah, why were they cutting is it so they couldn't yell out?
So they couldn't scream, Paige, because those people were not dead.
Yeah, that's true. They're not dead.
Y'all don't understand. You don't understand. The meat tastes worse if you can express words. It's all about the flavor.
Self-expression makes the meat tough.
Yes. You got to bury all the words, and that's how you get the flavor.
All those words marinate the flavor into its like meats.
This is like in Fresh when he tells her not to freak out and get scared because that makes the meat tough. Like this is Oh man.
I love it.
Guys, Vincent's a virgin, right? Like he's never even heard of the concept of sex, right?
Bro, Vincent fucks.
No,
everybody loves his meats. Everybody.
Hardcore disagree. And I think everyone in town knows he's a virgin because they're always saying sexually suggestive shit about his meats. And he's just like, yeah, they're great. I love my meats. Like he has a very specific type of brain disability where he doesn't understand people's sarcasm.
We gotta go round robin of what our theories are about Vincent's sexual status.
Okay, everyone.
Okay.
All right, let's start off with this. What's Vincent's sexual body count? I'm at 1.
Okay.
Wait, no, 0. Well, yeah, no, 1. Ida.
You're at 0?
No, he's got 1, his sister.
You think he and his sister? Okay, Mikey.
I definitely think that's why she tries to kill Terry.
Nah, my bro Vince lives at a motel. This man fucks. He got good meats. They know all about him. He's famous in a 150-mile radius. I think Vince is a self-reformed slut.
I mean, that place was a swingers resort of some renown.
Yeah.
I have a theory about the swingers resort, but go ahead, Mikey.
I mean, I just think he like fucked around for a long time and he got into smoked meats. He was like real famous. He had the hotel. Like everybody, he was fucking. And then like...
You guys know the type, you know, like he gets a little bit of money, gets a little bit of land, hits the gym, starts smoking meats.
Like Guy Fieri.
He's going to bring him to Flavor and Savortown, Paige.
Yeah. And then he started, he got older, you know, he mellowed. It's all about the business and he wants to fall in love, you know. I think that girl reminded him of like an ex because he was like really attached.
Like an ex's daughter?
No. Like he was that age when he lost that girl because he like picked Or he would have planted her too.
Oh, so like an ex from 40 years ago? Because dude's 65 and she's 28 at most.
You mean like when guys buy their high school car back
Yeah.
in their like 50s and 60s? Yeah, okay. All right, here's my theory.
Ooh, theory me.
I'm more in Todd's camp of Vincent either being asexual or demisexual or having troubling thoughts about the animals or the meat and stuffing them down, and that repression has led him to his scientific theories about murdering people and putting them in vats of meat. Demisexual is when you have to get to know somebody before you are attracted to them. But he does seem to like see Terry and be like, we're not going to meet this one. I'm going to meet this one, but only when she's ready and we're married.
He does it right, just like Adam Ponape, Paige.
Oh, geez, bless your beautiful heart.
I love that you got that reference just
You're
off his
welcome.
name. Mikey would have too, but he's...
I don't know names.
He doesn't know anyone's name. He doesn't know our name.
No.
Anyway, or it's like a So I Married an Axe Murderer scenario in which he has picked women multiple times and Ida kills them every time. But she's his sister, they're ride or die. And so he helps cover it up.
So it's like So I Married an Axe Murderer in that way because her sister killed... Yeah, okay. I got you. Yeah.
Exactly.
That checks out.
I do think his sister is obsessed with him in an unhealthy way, and that's why she kills the women's.
Vincent's got his shit together. The man has confidence as someone who threw it down multiple times.
And you're saying this is someone who has thrown it down a handful of times.
He's got that swagger. Yeah. Okay. Unrelated to his sex life.
Mikey, if it's not about his sex life, I don't want to talk about it.
What? I didn't know Bruce was not a villain until like 5 minutes before the movie ended.
Same. I was like, how does he not know they're related? Like, he lives with them, right? Or did at least when they were kids. Like, they grew up together.
When they were kids, yes, but he does. I don't think that Vincent's mom buried people, or maybe she did and she just kept it from him. But he also, in a throwaway line later, just says that he ran away from home and so lived close, so he doesn't know. But also, I think it's wildly crass that this movie has a rapist as a hero.
Oh, no.
Oh, you mean the 80s?
Yeah. I mean, it's the 80s, you know.
Like, what was it? Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds as well. But yeah, I think it's wild that he's the brother.
Oh,
like
it is unnecessary. And like, I thought he was in on it because of like all the cars and people going missing. And I was like, oh, this is obviously a Texas Chainsaw situation.
Or like House of a Thousand Corpses kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. But no.
But also he's like, you want to come hang out with me? We'll do police work together in my car, which I'm like, oh, you want to get in a high-speed chase and get shot at with me?
Yes. Do you even have to ask?
Paige, you were into Bruce?
No.
Okay.
I just want to be in a high-speed chase.
And like his big move is to get binoculars out and be like, you can see the drive. Like, just drive close to it.
I would have been like, fuck you, and take me to the drive-in.
Yes! Drive down the hill. Your move sucks. You're already abusing your police powers. Go stand close.
When he made all of the other kids fucking in their cars leave, I was like, boo. Like, no. Just let them kids get pregnant the old-fashioned way. Like, stop. What are you doing?
Gotta protect the peace.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of anything else. No, it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, maybe we should just go through this movie scene by scene, guys.
Sure. We open on the Motel Hell with cool, glowing credits that literally look like a cross between Tron and Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like if you would put the Stranger Things theme over these credits, it would it would be perfect. But there's a guy on the porch. It is Vincent. We will learn it's Vincent. He goes inside and there's a TV with a preacher on it, and that I think like you said is Wolfman Jack. He will try to marry them later. The fact that he's local, there's so much insane about that preacher that's just in the background and not even like a part of the story, but he's always too loud in the background of every scene that TV is in.
Because his voice is insane. It's like, he talks like this. It's like he's talking through like he's crazy. I can't stand it.
The love of the Lord is going to cascade down upon you if you give your offerings to the... Yeah, it's nuts.
In the scene where Vincent's talking to him about marrying Terry Gross, not Terry Gross, sorry. The fact that he's marrying Terry is gross, not Terry Gross from NPR, sorry.
Right.
For the confusion. I apologize, that just came out. But in that scene, he's like, saying, glory be the wedding. And then he starts it again and says, glory. And then it cuts to another scene, like mid-glory.
Yes.
And it made me laugh so hard.
But he's also glory as he's looking at a copy of Hustler. And then we immediately cut back to the house and Ida has the same copy of Hustler, which would suggest that maybe Ida is not straight.
Maybe. I've looked up Wolfman Jack's Wikipedia entry.
Okay.
Which I don't need to read beyond the third sentence because it says famous for his gravelly voice, which he credits for his success, saying, it's kept meat and potatoes on the table for years for Wolfman and Wolfwoman.
Oh, Wolfwoman. For all Wolfman and Wolfwoman kind.
I think you mean it's kept meat and potatoes on the table for years with Wolfman and Wolfwoman.
Wolfwoman.
Wolfwoman. Oh, God. Do you think she changed her name to Wolfwoman? Would you?
To be fortunate enough to marry Wolfman, would I change my name to Wolfwoman, Paige? Of course I would.
This Wikipedia is wild. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just scroll down. One paragraph starts with, in 1971, the Mexican government, under pressure from the Roman Catholic Church, banned Pentecostal preachers from the radio.
Just banned Pentecostal preachers from the radio. Yes, that is a thing, and we didn't get to it in our Oral Roberts episodes on Cult Podcast, but it's like a thing. It was like a war in the media.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I don't trust people who trust televangelists. I'll just say that. So, like, immediately I was like, oh, Vincent's a bad dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, televangelists don't have a great track record. They can be very manipulative. They tend to target people who are easily persuaded to part with their money when they shouldn't be, particularly the elderly. And so it's not good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they have him on the TV and Ida is sleeping on the floor, but dressed very childlike and surrounded by toys. And so this first shot, I was like,
whoa. Let's keep the personal attacks out of this podcast.
No. Is that a child? Because it looks like an adult-sized child. What's about to happen? And then Ida gets up, and Ida is definitely strange, but Ida has all her faculties and everything about her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just strange, and you're just like, okay, I guess you do you, girlfriend.
I guess this is what we're doing now.
Which is something that Jake warned me about with this movie, because he had seen the movie before, and he worried that it was going to be like the first Leprechaun movie, like that scenario and that character. And I don't think so. Ida seems to be just strange and murderous.
Yeah.
Which, love it for you, girl. Get it.
She knows who she is and what she likes.
And she's leaning in.
Girl boss. So Vincent grabs a gun and he goes out to the road. And he watches as a motorcycle with a sidecar that is empty. Why have the sidecar?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Winds along the road. And it's implied that he shoots their tires out because they reference it later in the movie. We never see him fire the gun.
We don't. And we don't really see a bullet hit the wheel either. We just see him, who's driving the motorcycle, like shake the front wheel.
Yeah.
Which you could do because it's got a sidecar, so it's got 3 wheels. And then run into a tree.
I think he might have been getting a handy and ran off the road and the guy didn't have to shoot him and then he stole the girlfriend.
He's like, well, we know she's good with her hands. She could be useful around the hotel.
Because she can beat the meat, Paige.
Oh my God, she's perfect.
He's got the meats. So he goes down and loads the bodies, leaves the bike there because we know Bruce finds it later, loads the bodies into his truck, drives it back to the farm with the meats where Ida is ready to unload, but she's like making herself a snack in the kitchen. And at this point, we didn't know who she was in the movie. So I just have like wife ? This has real John Waters vibes because she's just like eating. This is one of many times where she's just eating undiscernible food that she has just heaped whipped cream on top. I think this is where she was making an egg and had toast.
Yes.
I have no idea. But he brings in Terry because Terry has not died. And he's like, I think the Grim Reaper has sought fit to make her survive. And so we're going to make sure she lives. And Ida just goes, oh, I see. But fine, you're going to have to get me, and lists off with no breaths in between, 14 different herbs and spices, I assume for the chicken.
Yeah, it was gathering herbs. It was
I didn't write them down.
She's a healer. She heals.
She's a healer.
gardens. It was garden seal comfrey, I think was one of them. I don't know. I just wrote down a few that I heard.
I don't even know if they're real. But this is her delivering lines too fast. And like it starts right away. But so she then goes out to help him load the other body. We don't see what they do with it yet.
But wait till we do. Wait till we learn what they're doing with that body.
We cut to the next morning, and it's two little Shining twins girls. And this is like right after The Shining, too. And I was like, you're clearly...
Shining came out the same year. It was 1980.
Same year?
Yeah, same year.
Wild.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just parallel thinking.
I mean, twins are creepy. Mikey said that many times on that. Like,
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
Twins be creepy. But this is where we get your smoked meats are, I do say, superior. Just nuts.
Yes.
And she's like, where can we purchase them? And he's just like handing them like Slim Jims for the road and then a sampler box.
But Paige, the scene literally starts with the man saying to Vincent, "We'd like to continue to enjoy your meats."
Enjoy your meats.
I was like, what?
And my man meat you shall have.
Exactly.
Because that man sat in a corner last night and watched Vincent take his wife.
Man, the swinger couple has that energy for sure.
I'm fully on board with Mikey's version of this movie now, that it's like a one-stop shop smoked meat and cuck experience.
Come on down and get cucked at the Motel Hello.
I mean, what did he do to Bruce?
His brother?
His brother?
He took his girlfriend the day after he took him on a date.
Vincent is kind of Mr. Steal Your Girl, but I do think that she was just into older men in general and Bruce wasn't old enough for her. But the little girl twins wander into like one of the smoke houses, like the meat packing and butchering place, and they freak out because a bunch of pigs on hooks fly through a door, which I titled Rump Scare.
I love 50 Cent's Halloween album, guys.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Oh my God. Someone make an R&B or rap Halloween album called Rump Scare. Holy shit.
Come on, girl, you in for a rump scare.
Anyway, the girls scream.
But they just see pigs. Like, you don't see anything, but as they run out, you do see a pig, like head, stand up and look over, like the, I don't know, kennel? What do you call a pig herd kennel thing? Like
a pen?
A pen. Pig pen. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want, Peanuts is for older people. I don't watch Peanuts.
No, I know. Here's the thing. I totally understand why you said kennel. That is what it looks like.
I have dogs. I don't know.
And it took me a second to think of pens.
But
he made the husband wear that pig mask in the corner.
I think that they definitely used it, Mikey, for the sex stuff. I'm not even joking. They clearly use it for the murder stuff too, but it's a sex thing. Either way, the pig looks up out of the pig pen. We all know they're called pig pens. No one ever forgot. And it's like looking at those girls like, get the fuck out of here. I'm a pig. But you find out later it's just a dude in a pig head. I think it's a real pig head, though, which is gross.
I do, but I think it's Ida in the pig head because...
I don't think it's Yuda.
Vincent's out with her parents. Their parents, Ida, Yuda. But they come running, screaming out to the car. And I love that they like scream all the way to the car, open the door, go silent, open the door, get back in the car, and then start screaming again.
I love that too. I was like, the director just told them this. Okay, scream to the car, open the car door, get in and keep screaming. So they did exactly that. They got to the car door, stopped screaming, opened the car door, sat down, closed the door, started screaming again. And I would have shot the purveyor of his sweet, sweet meats in the face if he put a bumper sticker on my car and then yelled at my children.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like, if you put a bumper sticker on my car without asking, you're going to catch 5 across the eyes.
It's about the power. It's about the power that Vincent exerts because the wife was like, yeah, put that bumper sticker on the car.
Oh, he definitely bumper stickered up in these.
He's like, what are you going to do about it?
That's how everyone will know whose car this is.
Driving around in the new Cuckmobile.
Vincent was here.
That's what that bumper sticker says.
Come again. Yeah.
I went to Motel Hell and both me and my wife got Vincent's sweet meats.
Oh, come and get smoked.
Gross. That's honestly one of the singles from 50 Cent's Halloween album.
Oh, God. I want it so bad.
What was the name of the album? I already forgot. God.
Rump Scare.
Rump Scare?
Rump Scare.
That's what it is. Welcome, girl, to the Rump Scare.
Welcome to the Rump Scare.
But then he scares the children, which I thought was like too far.
Well, and then they stop screaming. I'm like, these kids don't know what to scream at.
I'll give them something to scream at. I like that's your response to it, Paige. Oh, these kids don't even know what to scream at, so I'm going to teach them today.
I'll give them one. But they leave. And then Vincent gets on a tractor and goes to like a secret door in the brush, or what's like a hedge, secret door, and walks in and seems to put in an 8-track and then close the door, and we never see anything else about it.
That's the soothing plant music that people's heads need.
I so badly wanted him to put that 8-track in and then to just have like a full Footloose hot rod dance sequence behind the hedge door, and then just we never address it again.
Someone needs to meme that scene with like Fetty Wap and like some other stuff.
Just Kendrick, where it's just, they not like us. They not like us. Say heads. I hear you like the ground. Anyway, so at this point, the police like speed up to the house because we don't know that Bruce is the brother yet. And he goes in and Ida tries to kill him. And she's like, I'm just playing. I'm like, she's not. Like, I don't think she's playing. I think she's just murderous.
No, she do just be murderous. I mean, she even tries to kill Terry like 4 or 5 times. And Terry is like oblivious that she's living with like Mrs. H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, she Mr. Magoo's her way out of death multiple times. Just like happily wandering away from the knives.
Oh, I just think it like that whole drowning scene when we get there is like the funniest scene.
I have something to shout about when we get there, but I'll table it.
I couldn't handle it. Yes. Anyway, so this is where Terry wakes up for the first time, and it's like the day after the crash, and she's like, what happened? Where's Bo? And they're like, he's dead. She's like, I want to see him. And they're like, we already buried him. And I'm like, what?
That's so fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah. If someone died that morning and they're dead by sunrise, that person was murdered and someone's trying to cover something up.
Was he dead or did he get planted?
I think he just got planted. He's not really dead. I'm just saying the story they give her is a huge fucking red flag.
He's the one who falls through the ceiling later in the movie.
Yeah, that's right, because Terry's boyfriend comes back to fight at the end.
Yeah. My boyfriend's back and he's maybe part plant. Hey,
my throat is sweat.
Dirty.
He likes it filthy.
Because he's in the dirt, Todd. That is.
No, I got it.
Yeah, in the dirt. Track 4 off of Rump Scare. Anyway, they're like, he died. We buried him. And they're like, this is our kid brother, the sheriff. And I did think at that point that he was in on it. Because, like,
Yes.
Of course, your brother's the sheriff. Why wouldn't they be in on it?
And he's going along with just burying the body. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was like, no, you could definitely just bury someone with no questions.
I mean, he is the law around town. Like, I think at the end of this movie, he becomes a good guy because he was so bad at his job, he did not realize his brother and sister were the murderers.
His own family were murdering people.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Like, that's crazy. It's almost like whoever wrote this movie didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe that would be a thing, right? There's no way that's the case.
I wouldn't say
What are you
that.
talking about?
I wouldn't say that.
Would never say that. Never ever. This is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it.
I like Mikey, have no notes. I only have questions. First one, how dare you? Secondly, why? No, let's move on.
Thirdly, how dare you again? So he's like, in this county, in certain circumstances, yes, you can bury somebody. And he's like, his body wasn't intact. And I wanted to save you from that. And I'm like, you still call the coroner. He's like, I did him a favor. And the cop's like, you're right. And I'm like, if I turned in a script with this, they would send it back and be like, your delusions don't belong in these scripts, ma'am. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think you could have very easily just had Vincent be the coroner.
Right?
Genius rewrite right there.
Well, and also the butcher, because like, if you have not watched the John Oliver episode on coroners and medical examiners.
Yes. It's still like that.
Do it. You'll never sleep again. It's still like that. In many, many counties, you don't have to have a license to operate a funeral home or to be a medical examiner or to be a coroner. You don't need any prior medical experience. And so there are counties where people are just like, looks dead to me. And that's also why a ton of murders go unsolved.
And that's today.
That's today.
Not 1980. So
Paige, in Nashville, our coroner's name is Big Balls.
Wait, is it really? Oh my God, what?
No, that's one of the 18-year-olds who's like bossing around civil servants and Doge. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh God. I do know, because I just watched a documentary on it, that in Colorado, you don't need a license to operate a funeral home. And so this couple said that they had green funerals, like they were like, planting trees.
Oh, I heard about this.
And stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just let bodies pile up for 4 years while they took all the money and went to California, and he tried to become a stand-up comedian at the worst comedy club in Los Angeles, and it didn't work out. And then they went on the run while she got multiple plastic surgeries. HBO's Curious Case of, if you are interested, highly recommend.
Going from being a funeral home director to a bad comic makes sense because you're used to people dying.
But not killing.
Right.
Boom!
Yeah, and he'd be dying on stage night after night.
Yep,
he's killing it. They're dead.
I'm dying of here.
They're dying down there, Paige. Well, maybe. We don't know. I can't really tell.
We know they died. We just don't know what happened to them after, because he just piled them.
Coroner.
Horrible. Anyway, yeah, you could have just made him the coroner.
Paige, do you know how to make holy water?
I mean, if I drink enough, then over time my body does has to. Okay.
You boil the hell out of it.
Have you not read Fahrenheit 451 or whatever?
I have, but I wasn't prepared for this. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a beat to step two.
That'd be a good one on the 8-track right there. Put it on in.
Okay, what's the perfect, hilarious song to be on that 8-track?
What 8-track? Which one? Set the scene.
Where he puts in the 8-track, and we will find out later that that's where the head garden is.
This is going to be controversial, and people are going to have comments about it. But Cotton Eye Joe on repeat would be the way to go.
I mean, no, that's it. That's what it would be.
I think Heads Will Roll could be a pretty fun one.
It's 2 on the nose, I think.
Heads Will Roll!
It's 2 on the nose. Oddly enough, it was actually my pony.
It relaxes them.
Yeah.
It keeps the heads calm. That would keep me calm. Anyway, so he basically was like, yeah, okay, like, but next time you find a dead body, call me. And I'm like, that's not really how any of this works.
It is if your brother's the only cop in a 20-mile radius.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we cut to an indeterminate amount of time later where the health inspector shows up and he's like, surprise, check. And he's like, oh, yeah, by all means, go through. And as the health inspector is trying to check out the pigs, he hears the weird head noises and he hears the saw going, like the bone saw going.
Weird head noises is...
Yeah, it's kind of...
Oh, Paige, no, I know what it sounds like. Please.
And sometimes you like bop it on the... Anyway.
Whoa. Hey.
Hey, ladies, everyone's hawk ton. Don't forget to bop.
Bop it. Twist it.
Paige,
slap it.
You can't say bop it like that because that was like a commercial for a child's toy. So please don't say it like that.
It's bop it. Turn it. Twist it. Spin it. Anyway.
You could do all of those things and I'd be fine.
Not spin it.
Ooh, spin it, baby.
Jake and I's favorite phrase right now is bounce on it crazy style, like Nosferatu.
Oh, I thought you meant like In-N-Out fries, and I was like, In-N-Out, I get it.
Animal style. Ooh.
I've been reading on the internet about that motorcycle crash on the beginning of the film. It seems that the cause of the crash was it was too tired.
Pat Mikey had 3 tires. How dare you? They had a sidecar and they aren't using it, so your joke doesn't work and it's invalid. I hate it. I wish your joke worked, but unfortunately they were not using the sidecar that was there, giving it a 3rd wheel.
Fuck you.
Also, I missed you, man. It's good to have you back.
Oh, yes. This month's going to be fucking nuts.
Love you, bro.
I got a bunch of these written down for the episode.
Anyway, he goes to check in the like little butcher area to like say goodbye. And Vincent's like, how'd they look? He's like, check those hooves. Some of them look infected. And then he like runs away and he's like, all right, see you next month. We cut to inside the house. Terry is like crying and confused because she's basically been abducted.
Yeah, she's like, she has been overboarded, but instead of a hot dude who just wants you to raise his kids, it's an old man who is literally gonna slow age your boyfriend's body and then turn him into pork.
His meats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she already likes jerky-like men because they're old and wrinkled guys and they're in the sun.
Yep. You remember being in the Navy. Yeah, of course.
And guys, Vincent's so old, he was in World War I.
What? That Navy. Okay, but like if Vincent was played by Kurt Russell of this era, that cuck version.
Paige, honestly, if it was Russell Crowe from the 80s playing Vincent, I'd have been like, I don't know, man. I'd try the meats.
Russell Crowe from the... Okay, all right.
Sorry, not Russell Crowe. Kurt Russell, sorry. I watched Nice Guys last night, so Russell Crowe's in my head. Sorry.
I was like, interesting pull, but sure. Yeah, no, if it 80s Kurt Russell, I'll try any meat that man hands me.
I get it. He's not the right kind of shapes for me, but he is the right kind of shapes for a lot of people I know.
Yeah. How's your head? No complaints.
How's your cabbage head? No complaints? All right, cool. Let me show you my head garden. This is where I keep the heads.
Oh my God, is this just an early promo for Cabbage Patch Kids?
That's what I was thinking. This is just like the Cabbage Patch Hospital, but you don't eat them.
Well, maybe you don't eat them.
Because cabbage is gross.
I love cabbage. Have you been to the Cabbage Patch Hospital, Todd?
Is that a real question, Mikey?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, have you got... I went.
This might be a poor kid thing. Because we could not afford this when I was young, but I do know about it.
What's the Cabbage Patch Hospital?
So I went to this hospital. So you go to a fake hospital, and it's the Cabbage Patch Hospital. And then the nurse, quotes, air quotes, you like look into the maternity room.
Wait, is she not a real nurse?
Well, I mean, I don't know her credentials.
Okay.
But you look out into the maternity ward, and it's a cabbage patch of heads of different Cabbage Patch dolls.
Okay.
And you pick one, and then you get that Cabbage Patch kid as your kid. And it comes with a birth certificate.
So no, I did not do this growing up. It sounds very strange. That's a thing kids did?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask, did you actually go? Because there was like a handful of pop-up promos for it.
I went.
It was also in the commercial. So like the commercial was very much that. But Cabbage Patch Kids, when they were like the toy at the time, we didn't, I don't think I think I eventually got one, but not when they were doing like the whole hospital thing.
Oh, that checks out. Because it's like near where I grew up.
Oh, the factory?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a limited thing that they only did for like whatever, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you're right that they did have different ones. That's just not a thing anymore. But anyway, this is like that, but with you just eat the people.
Right. This is like that, but with cannibalism, aka environmentalism.
He does spin it that way, and I was like, smart.
Smart.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was dealing with piles of paperwork and frustrating forms.
And then waiting and wondering and worrying if you were going to get any money back.
Now Taxes is easily uploading your forms to a TurboTax expert who's matched to your unique tax situation.
An expert who's backed by the latest technology, which cross-checks millions of data points for 100% accuracy. While they work on your taxes, you get real-time updates on their progress, and you get the most money back guaranteed, all while you just go about your day.
No stressing, no worrying, no waiting. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com.
Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Hi, I'm Kat.
And I'm Pat.
We're from Seek Treatment Podcast, and we're here to talk about Blue Land. Do you know what I'm so about right now, Pat?
What? Tell me. Do not tell me.
Well, ready for this? I just heard that we're eating and drinking roughly a credit card's worth of plastic a week. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
I know. The products we're using are contaminating our water supply. generating hundreds of microplastics that we're eating. So here's the good news. You're never going to believe this. Blue Land is doing something about it. They're eliminating the need for single-use plastic in the products we reach for the most.
From cleaning sprays to hand soap, toilet bowl cleaner, and laundry tablets, all Blue Land products are made with clean ingredients that you can feel good about. Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. That's correct.
They offer refillable cleaning products with a beautiful, cohesive design that looks great on your counter. And refills start at just $2.25. You can even set up a subscription or buy in bulk for additional savings. I used my Blue Land spray today. I cleaned my dirty yoga mat with my Blue Land all-purpose spray today. It smelled good. It got the job done. And the bottle looked beautiful while doing it.
Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/save15.
You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/save15 for 15% off. That's blueland.com/save15 to get 15% off.
Anyway, so she's like, I'm really sad because like my parents are kind of shitty and Bo was really nice to me. And he's like, you're all alone in the world. And she's like, yes. And he's like, none of us are really alone.
I can't believe that her parents are kind of shitty.
Well, but then I love that he's like, you've got yourself and we're here. We care about you. And they cut over to Ida, who again is just eating a giant bowl of whipped cream and marshmallows. And she's just like, we love you.
She is watching the love of her life, her older brother, seduce a woman 300% younger than she is.
Oh,
I don't know. I've had a lot of situations where
you just crave whipped cream and marshmallows. I'm going to go do that right now later.
Paige likes them creamy mellows.
There were some overprotective sisters that I feel like my friends had. Like, and they always hated the people that their brothers dated.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were like, I had brothers that were overprotective of their sisters that I dated.
Yeah.
Anyway, the health inspector shows up and Vincent is like, nobody's supposed to be here. And he kind of sees the car. And the health inspector climbs over the hedge to go join the dance party with the heads in the ground. And he sees the heads all crying out and immediately gets got with a shovel.
But they can't cry out, Paige, because they're the headless horsemen.
They're hoarse, like their voice is
Yeah.
hoarse.
Wow. Mikey, I am so glad. I'm so glad you're here.
They're hoarse, Todd.
They sort of sound like they're like their throats are lawnmowers that are having trouble starting. Like that's what they sound like to me.
Yeah. But, and we did kind of gloss over because a bunch of other stuff was happening that like we briefly saw them bury the one guy or at least unveil his head from the motorcycle accident. And that's how we know they have stitches and whatever.
They show him dig the hole and like, because he does it with that like machine thing that does it really quick and then they drop.
Well, that's not until later, but yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. We're about to do it because no sooner do they have the health inspector shoveled that a band called Ivan and the Terribles,
hell yeah,
in their band van with an insane fake mustache come like down the road where Vincent has laid out bear traps. And he talks to Ida and is like, I really enjoy laying the traps. Like, that's my favorite part of it. Like, that's the part I get the most of out of my work day.
He's like, I like it because it lets me be creative in the ways that I murder.
Right. But I do kind of dig the song for the band in the van. It was very fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was lyrics like, I've had enough. I've had it up to here. It was like them like yelling and shit.
Yeah.
But those jobless hippies deserve to be ate because all they're doing is sucking down our social security checks and they're bad for the environment.
Yes.
I did like that right before they crash. One of them goes, hey man, this red's too heavy. We got to find a place to crash.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you're about to because the bad guy, Vincent, laid a literal bear trap in the road. Guys.
More than one.
More than one bear trap. There's like 3.
Yeah, it was more than one.
It just made me think of is it Prey where she throws a bear trap at a guy and it closes on his face?
Oh my God, so good.
Fuck yes, man.
We're not allowed to talk about good movies here today, everyone.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. We won't talk about the substance. But they crash. And then he goes up to their like overturned van and sprays some sort of, I assume, like sleeping gas, like chloroform fire extinguisher.
Yeah, they use gas throughout it to like make people go to sleep. So I assumed it was that.
Yeah. But he pulls up back to the motel. He picks up Ida. And this is where he's trying to tell her, he's like, I really appreciate, I love doing the traps. But so we get to the head garden and they turn on the lights and she like walks through the rows like she's the kid in Children of the Corn, just like, yes. He who walks behind the rows and the sack heads. But this is where we see them bring in the drill and drill down and then bury them up to their necks. And that band has to be somebody because they're some of the few faces we see for the rest of the movie in the head garden where they keep using that like front row of them.
That is true. We do see them a lot. I don't know if they're a real band, largely because one of them is wearing a beard that would make mall Santas feel bad for him. Like it's that bad.
It is. And the only reason I haven't had a chance to look it up is because I told you two this before we started recording.
It's Ivan and the Terribles.
Yeah, I assumed it was that was the actual band.
Yeah, because that's a real band.
Right.
At the time, I believe it was. But the reason I haven't had a chance to do fun facts yet, as I told you guys before we recorded, but I'll tell the audience now, is that I had to watch the last half of this at a nail salon where my hands were busy. And so my notes are sparse.
Yeah, she had to give pedicures while she watched it. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
I broke a nail while I was traveling and it hurt very badly and I had to have it fixed.
I don't remember most of what happens here except it was pleasant. Those look nice.
Thank you.
Because like we have the beginning that we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part where they have like group sex and then there's the end.
We're about to get to the group sex.
The group sex never happens, mind you.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. So they bury them heads. They're like injecting them in their throats with, I would assume, some sort of painkiller or anesthetic, topical or localized anesthetic.
Or garlic butter.
Because the meats, but then slits their throats and like sews them shut. We cut to a picnic the next day. And this is where Terry says, it's like I've never really tasted ham before. And then they proceed to tell one of the most disturbing stories from the family's dark farm that I've ever heard, in which a local dog barked too much, so the mom killed and smoked it. Or killed it and he smoked it.
Right, and they ate it. Yeah, they ate a dog.
And they ate the whole thing.
Right.
And they're like, it kind of tastes like goat. But Terry is clearly upset about it. And Bruce is like, great, let's take a walk. And then immediately takes her on a boat.
Yeah.
Which, the implication.
It's like it's in a man-made lake and it's not very big. Like she'd have been fine if she had just like jumped out and swam.
Which is why the drowning thing later is so funny.
I know.
He asks her to go to the drive-in. And we then cut to a scene where Vincent and Ida are driving out to the head farm later that night on the tractor, nuts to butts on the tractor.
Yeah.
Because they're carrying a lot of equipment, because this is where we see them funneling something, maybe garlic butter, into the heads, and because they need to for the pork. But this is where we get Vincent's long speech about like...
Oh, yeah, that's the PVC snorkels that they feed them through?
Yes, yeah.
Or do you think it's just like beer bongs for like beer-basted human meat?
They're just like, chug, 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 chug.
Beer can Peter.
We marinate them on the inside and the out.
Delicious. But this is where we get Vincent's speech about like, do you think people will understand what I'm doing for the planet? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, I have no idea.
I think you guys know what they're doing. We're eating 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're solving global warming.
No one else is going to do it, Paige. Look around.
Why are you lecturing me? I'm on your side. Todd's the one that didn't want to eat his neighbors.
Is he come around now?
No. But Vincent's last name, I don't know if you guys know this, is Gore. That is Al Gore's grandfather. And he's always been very conscious about the environment.
Right. As Mikey famously said, I got an inconvenient truth for you. We got to eat 1 billion people.
We got to eat 1 billion people.
That's exactly why I went there. Yeah.
I see who you voted for.
the colonel.
We need a strong military leadership, Paige.
I just don't understand why you're not on board with the most progressive idea.
Eating people?
Eating people.
I mean, look, the people next door were being too loud, just like that dog.
So we ate them for science.
Ate the whole thing and then told a fun story about it on a date, and that date didn't run away screaming. I mean, here's what I will say. This show, our podcast, has a long history of really enjoying movies where people make foods that are like notably delicious out of people and then just have like insane methods around it. And chainsaw sword fights. It happened in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Arguably the best.
That is the best one. That's way better than this. If I told you what happens in that final fight scene, it would sound way more badass than it looks on screen.
It also takes way too long.
Yeah.
You could cut 20 minutes out of this movie between that and the hypnotizing scene. Anyway, so we cut to Bruce and Terry's date later where he pulls up to Lover's Lane and is like, everyone get out, you're breaking the law. And I'm like, are you though? We do see naked people run away and all the cars drive away. And he's like, oh, but here's binoculars and you can watch the drive-in. I would have been like, you cheap bastard, take me to the drive-in.
He's like, but no, I'm a cop. So like we can do whatever we want because I'm the law around these parts. Let me assault you really quick.
Look, if you're going to try and impress me with your copness, let me hold your gun.
He would have.
Give me the gun.
That man would have.
I know.
Paige, he is begging her for a hand job. Like he wants her to hold his gun.
I mean, he basically was like, here, chase this car while I shoot at them. I mean, like he would have let her shoot.
Terry could have done anything.
I mean, but he does literally almost immediately try to sexually assault her. And then the movie thinks he's the hero at the end. It's insane. Anyway. The only reason he doesn't complete that assault is because somebody comes over the ham radio, and it is these two girls that we briefly follow that drive down the road and encounter one of Vincent's traps. And it's just a set of painted cows because he's getting real artistic with it.
It is they don't even hurt the car.
Yeah, well, because they're plywood. Like, you could have just blown through them, but because she gets out, Vincent's behind and like gasses that one girl, and then the other girl drives, and they somehow conveniently have a ham radio in their Oldsmobile. I don't know. I guess
Yeah, I think it's a CB radio, not a ham radio.
I just figured ham because of the smoked meats.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
They're all really ham radios in this movie.
They are. Yeah, well, they're 30% ham, 70% smoked Dave or whatever.
It's me, Smoked Dave in the morning. I've got your bacon sizzling.
I'm the guy who fucked Mrs. Wolfman. Sorry. He's like a rival DJ who like hates Wolfman and Wolfman hates him.
Smoked Dave.
Hey, what do you call a werewolf who meditates? A self-aware wolf.
I'm so glad I bought Mikey the 101 jokes to tell when you come back to your podcast for a month, dad joke book.
I don't know how you are remembering all of these and how much brain space they're taking up.
What do you guys think I have been doing with my free time?
Dating?
No,
I think just memorizing jokes.
Just memorizing jokes.
For the dates, so that when he gets to the dates, he's just like, what do you call a boob that's scared of the nighttime? And she's just like, I need to leave. Bye. I can't be here. But no, wait. What do you call it when your foot is scared of a bush? She's gone. She's just gone. She's in a car.
Todd.
She's driving away.
What kind of clothing does a house wear?
What?
A dress.
A dress, Paige. Because like an address. Oh my God. I was offended that Paige didn't get it. I could see in her face, she was like, you can't get a dress that big.
A house can't wear a dress. That's ridiculous.
What is it, a 16 or 17 XL?
No, for some reason. Because for some reason my brain went to house shoes and I was stuck on it. And then you were like, a dress. And I was like, address. And it took me the extra second. Oh, man.
Oh, Self-Aware. That's one of my favorites.
Self-Aware Wolf is pretty great. It's pretty awesome. What did the therapist say to the vampire?
That sucks.
That's better than what I had, which was that'll be $125.
That therapist is cheap.
No, we don't take Blood Cross Blood Shield.
Only United Healthcare.
Yes, we do make after hours appointments.
Okay, this is not. You weren't on the Vampire in Brooklyn episode, Mikey, and I've got to bring this up because I didn't bring it up for the episode, but I wanted you there because I had to badly discuss with you. If you were a vampire, I'm gonna get my coffin with a little bit of elbow room. Like I'm gonna get like a king size coffin. Like I'm not gonna be in a twin coffin.
I've thought about this a lot in my life.
These are the real problems that you have to face as an adult.
I like the new. Have you guys watched the remake of The Interview with the Vampire, the new AMC show?
Yeah,
great.
You know how he just seals off a whole house and
Yes.
just stays awake the whole time? That's what I would do.
Same.
That True Blood does that a lot too, which makes way more sense to me personally. Hey, what did the vampire doctor say to his patient?
What?
Turn your head and coffin.
Oh.
That sucks.
Your copay is $20.
Cannibal her. I barely know her.
Ketchup and liquor. Okay, because I'm an environmentalist.
Where are we? What are we talking about?
Look, we forgot what else happens in the film.
Fuck this. No, I'm kidding. I'll get us back. Anyway, so the girl drives away. She has the CB or the smoked ham radio.
It's definitely a smoked ham radio.
Ham drives away. And they pick her up over the radio in the police cruiser.
Yeah, Bruce does.
And she's like, hey, he's like, hey, all right, fine. She's like, no, that wasn't me screaming for help. And he's like, oh, great. And I'm like, no, oh no.
Right?
But they drive and try to find where that signal is coming from, which is impossible. They have no way to geolocate other than the fact that the girl is like, I think I'm on this highway somewhere 10 miles out of Grainville, which is where they're all at.
Yeah, she says I'm on Highway 52 about 10 miles outside of Grainville, which I was like,
let's go.
Okay.
Great. So they are driving, they try to find her. No sign of her. They do kind of get stuck in kind of like a ditch with a puddle, and then they have to like push the car. But by the time they do all that, there's no sign of the other car because Vincent pushed it into a lake.
Can I just say this, though?
Yeah.
The lady who's on the ham. Radio is screaming so much. She screams until she passes out and her car rolls to a stop. And that's how he catches her.
Yeah.
And then pushes her.
Right.
Like and listen, I'm not trying to victim blame here.
No, of course not.
But it is her fault.
No.
Because she passed out while driving. Guys, just breathe. Breathe and you'll be in a better spot. Okay? Don't pass out. It's not her fault, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I thought it was funny.
No, yeah. It definitely looks like they don't have the budget to actually do a car thing, so it slowly comes to a stop and the corner touches the water.
That's exactly what it is. Every time you see them later in the car chase scene where the cars are rubbing together, it's shot and none of those cars are moving. And someone's just on either side of it pushing the car up and down, but they're definitely not touching. They're not even anywhere close to each other. It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, not anywhere close. And again, y'all will have to, from here on out, y'all will have to help me because my hands were captive and I couldn't write anything down. But if memory serves, after this, we cut to a day or two later and Vincent is like, hey, I think I do want to teach you about the finer points of how you smoke the meat. And she's like, great. And then he goes off to do something with the bodies. We don't know what yet.
No, I think, no, he goes to town to go talk about the marriage.
Not yet. That's
Not
way
yet.
later. That's way later.
I don't know. Doesn't she try to kill him now?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the swingers yet, guys.
Yeah.
Which I think is next. I think the swingers is right after this.
We're about to get to the swingers. Yeah.
The best part about this movie is that you can watch the scenes in any order.
I don't disagree.
Okay, here's what it is. They're taking the body back from the girl from the lake and they're trying to bury her and all this stuff. And they're like, who's what car is up at the motel? Didn't you turn the no vacancy sign on? And she's just like, oops. So they go up to the hotel, and this is where it is the swingers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just swingers. It is like a myriad of kinkery. And they found them in a pamphlet called Hot Spots, which Vincent seems completely confused about. Ida is like, oh, yeah. And I think Ida just placed a bunch of ads in a bunch of places to try and get people in. Or Ida's into that kind of shit and is hoping to meet new partners.
Paige, you gotta look, a guy is gonna play it cool. Vince knows what this is.
Yeah.
But he's playing it cool. He's like, oh, what are you talking about? You know, maybe I'm into that, maybe I'm not. Yeah.
I see you across the desk. Maybe I like your vibe.
Hey, I saw you from across the slaughterhouse. Thought you were sweet looking.
You're ringing my bell here. Would you like your mustached friend to sit in the corner with a pig mask on and watch me take you with my smoked meat?
Is your meat buttered? Would you like us to assign someone to butter your meat?
It just cuts to the hotel room, that lady on her knees, and Vincent fully clothed, shoving hot dogs into her mouth.
Oh, mouth. You went with mouth.
Yeah, I went with the PG version because it was the funniest in my mind.
You think those are kosher or?
So, the swingers. Now, this swinger segment, funny though it is, because they are doing 110%. And then Ida and Vincent come in and basically talk them into being tied up and being gassed.
The thing about it, Paige, is they don't talk them into it. The swingers are like, oh, sweet, you guys are into BDSM. Hey, you can tie us up. Let us lay in the bed and make it easy for you. Oh, is this dog style? Oh, no, it's hog style or whatever. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Like, it, oh my God.
But it just goes on forever.
The whole thing is crazy.
But it also goes on way too long.
But he more or less, like, Vincent sort of John Wayne Gacy's them.
Yes.
Through their own kinkery.
It's the handcuff trick, 100%.
Yes.
This is where they take the swingers and the other bodies out to try and plant them. But this is where they're going to hypnotize the band, because those are the ones that they're going to use. No, I'm sorry. The drowning happens first. So the next day after the swingers.
This whole subplot could have been cut out, the sister trying to kill her. It's like 15 minutes of nothing.
It's 15 minutes of nothing, because he basically is like, I guess I'll teach her. And she goes and tells Ida, and Ida's like, really? Good day for tubing. Let's go. And so they go inner tubing on the lake. And then Ida slashes her own tube so that Terry tries to help her. And then she slashes Terry's tube and then tries to drown Terry.
Can I say this really quick?
Yes.
The sound it makes when she stabs her own tube with that knife sounds more like a real life fart than I've ever heard in real life. It is like that Foley artist was so sick of working this hard on a shit movie. So he was like, I'm just going to fart into a microphone and we're going to use that.
Yeah.
Listen to it again and just like close your eyes.
I hope that's what happened.
It sounds so much like a fart. If you felt warm air on you, you'd immediately go shower.
Wait, you shower every time you fart?
If someone farted on me, I would.
I have farted on you so many times, bro, and you never showered.
Okay, but like, are we talking bare ass or somebody like
Yes.
clothed with?
Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If I can feel the warmth, do you realize how close to ground brown eye I am? If I can feel the warmth on me?
I mean,
Have you not heard the Incubus song, The Warmth, Page?
of course, but also I'm just thinking of that time in Knocked Up where that's how Jay Baruchel gets pink eye. It's because somebody farted on his pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Foley artist was doing. He was like, hey, Jay Baruchel, can you come over? I got to capture one last sound for this movie I'm doing. Yeah, just bring like gloves, maybe some protective eyewear so you don't get pink eye. Anyway, yeah, just hold the mic in my butt. What? That's how we got pink eye.
I don't know if y'all were hearing my hyper realistic fart sounds, but it's one of the best parts of being chubby is you can make amazing fart sounds almost anywhere on your skin. Try it.
Paige, I keep them localized to my butt, which is a lyric from 50 Cent's Rump Scare.
Rump Scare. Anyway, after the drown, because she doesn't drown, Vincent comes and saves her and whatever. She's then like naked in bed, and Ida's just like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drown you. And you're like, how do you stay in the same house with that person? Like,
Well, they do say that like a lot of people who died from being drowned,
it's because they were trying to save
Yes,
somebody who was drowning.
they try and save
Yeah.
somebody, and then that person drags both of them down.
Right.
So sad. Guys, let your friends die is what I'm saying.
No! I mean, depending on the situation, we've discussed this many times where
Yeah.
Jake and I have an agreement to leave each other behind in certain situations.
That's why you buy him a really strong wedding ring band so you can go, what movie is that, Mikey? Where Ed Harris gets the...
Oh, it's The Abyss, bro.
Thank you, The Abyss.
Yeah, that is The Abyss. Anyway, this scene is where she is like, you saved me, oh my God. And then tries to put Vincent's hand in her boobular region.
Yes.
And he's like, no, we've got to be married first. And she's like, are you proposing? And I'm like, all of this is no.
I literally wrote in my notes, weren't you on a date with a different guy yesterday? And didn't you start this movie, which began 4 days ago, in a relationship with another guy? Like, she's just bouncing around, guys.
She's got bad parents, Todd. She talked about it.
parents.
She's got granddaddy issues for sure.
Look, Vincent's not a bad looking dude. I mean, like, if we're going to have an objective discussion about it.
I would say, okay, Mikey, let's go there. Appropriate age range? Like, if Helen Mirren now was like Vincent, yes, I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
He's like one of those dudes that is 65, but you know he could fight. Like, he's like that kind of scrappy.
He owns multiple businesses.
Oh, the dude's a successful meat smoker
Yeah.
and hotel purveyor.
He's well-spoken, no accent.
That is true. I mean, accent's not a problem for me, but okay.
No, but I think he knows what's up.
I think Mikey's trying to say for people that usually get associated with cannibalism, he doesn't sound like he's from the South.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He does. The song is family.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get you. Anyway, so he then goes to talk to Wolfman to marry them, who, again, just glory, glory, glory. Like, he's so excited to marry them. He's dressed like Jesse Gemstone.
He is. And he's so far away. Every bit of his like dialogue is ADR'd for sure. But at the end of this scene, that's where he's like, I believe I'm going to have a glory fit. And glory, glory, glory. And then it cuts. Like, as he's doing the glory again, it's so funny. I love that.
It's not quite there because Vincent leaves. And then Bruce is like in his car chilling, and Wolfman walks past him. Bruce has a Hustler in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
he then gives it. He's like, I found it in the woods or something.
He said, I took it away from some kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, well, where'd you get this receipt for it?
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that.
No, but Wolfman is then like looking through it. And this is where it's like, glory, glory, glory. Like, just gone. But then it cuts immediately to Ida flipping through the same Hustler.
Yes.
Yeah, because this movie contains the 80s best transition.
Yeah, oh, incredible. So funny.
I mean, it is a good transition.
Because if you think about it, Ida is a hustler, man. Like, she's working, she's just getting shit done. Like, yeah, Vincent is the head. He is the CEO of Motel Hell for sure. But she's the COO actually executing the vision that Vincent brings to the table.
Absolutely, which is why she helps drug Terry. And I don't think they were going to kill Terry, to believe it or not.
No,
they were going to work in the farm.
Yeah, they go, because this is where they go hypnotize all the heads. That takes way too fucking long. And again, if you're a mid-century nerd like me, the aluminum Christmas trees that come with the light wheels, it is those light wheels. Exactly. They just got them from Christmas trees at the time because you could still buy them. And that's what and it's just a spinning aluminum like wheel with like primary color lights on it.
Perfect.
And it's perfect.
Yeah. But they talk so much lore in this scene, like they're sending these 3 dudes to space or whatever. Like they're talking about sending them to Mars, and really all they're doing is tying a noose around their neck, tying that noose to a tractor, and then pulling their heads until they break their necks, and then digging them up and dragging them to be slaughtered in the slaughterhouse.
It had the same visuals and kind of action as the game Mousetrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
I took the lore to just be the trip they were lulling the heads to sleep with.
Oh, they even set it up that way. But during the explanation of that lore, I was like, I had to check and see if L. Ron Hubbard wrote this movie.
Well, you guys, Vincent's a creative. Like, that's why his traps are getting more elaborate. His stories to lull the heads. He enjoys his work. He goes in depth with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We should have known that he would do the most for this.
Bad pitch.
Yes.
I want an Arabian Nights type movie where Vincent goes 101 nights to talk to this one lady head that he is marinating in the soil. And every night he's like, I'm going to kill you in the morning. And she's like, "Arr." And then every night he comes back again and tells her another story until he falls in love and has to dig her up.
Love it. I love that for her.
He never gives her voice back because it's better that way for him. But
I think you're right about Ida, though, about being the operations girl.
Oh, yeah, she definitely is.
Because she knows where all the bodies are buried.
Absolutely, she does. Yeah.
She does.
They're in the garden.
Yeah. They're all in the same place. They take like a wheelbarrow of 4 of those bodies, and it's the band, to the slaughterhouse. And then we get long shots of them chopping them up, putting them in the vats, all this stuff.
It was almost like the movie thought we didn't know they were cannibals yet. When we knew they were cannibals in the opening credits. Like we get it.
But while that's happening this entire time, Bruce is like, hey, I feel like I don't want her to marry him. I got to find a reason.
He only starts doing his job, guys.
Yes!
When he is trying to dig up dirt on his brother, who is marrying the woman he sexually assaulted 3 days ago on a date she went on with him.
Look, how is Bruce supposed to know hundreds and hundreds of people have gone missing in that county? And God knows how many cars are in all the lakes around him.
Also, how is he supposed to know what's illegal or not? Like, it's too many laws. Like, is he responsible for that? What is he, Judge Dredd?
Yeah, right?
He simply can't do his job until it personally benefits him.
Right.
He was like, you know what's illegal? Vincent marrying a younger woman. We've got to really clamp down on this.
Now, I'll say this. She definitely is over 18, but the age gap still should be illegal. He's like 70 and she's 28.
The age gap is the only gap I shop at.
You shop at a store called 34 years?
No. As in the age gap.
I know.
Like the gap.
I got his joke. I was just tagging it.
Here's what I will say, and this is maybe a controversial opinion. Okay, but hear me out.
You're more of an H&M gal?
Wait, I have a funny story first. I love
it. Yes. Wait, before you start, let me also start talking when another host set up a story and then sort of usurp it. And then, all right,
y'all invited me.
Welcome back, Mikey. Let's do this. I heard it too, Paige.
This weekend was my youngest brother's birthday, and he turned 28. And I was like, my baby brother turns 28. And then I get a response to that Instagram story that was like, from a girl I dated, and it was like, hey, it's my age.
She was a baby, Mikey. A baby.
A baby child. What you doing dating anything under 30? It's not worth it. Okay, but controversial opinion.
Tell me it.
I believe child marriage should be illegal. Absolutely.
Hot take, Paige. God. Yeah, no shit.
Right.
The bold stance, right, Mikey? Like,
but
this is the exception she carves out before whatever she's about to say.
I am very afraid when someone starts a sentence with, I think child marriage should be illegal, but
hear me.
Okay.
If an old rich man.
Why do I feel like I'm being interviewed on the Joe Rogan podcast right now?
Hold on. If an old rich man near death is dumb enough to marry a 21-year-old and he's willing to leave her everything, I think that girl deserves everything and she should get it in the will.
That's right, girl. So if you are looking for something like that, I will leave you my Micro Machines collection.
Ooh, Mikey. Keep describing your penis.
Oh. Shipping and handling may apply.
I'm just going to drop in that, like, the end
the
of that.
Micro Machines guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bruce, now suddenly policed, and he comes back to the house. Everyone's out, or so he thinks.
Oh, no.
And he goes to Terry and he's like, wake up, they're gonna murder you. They've been eating people the whole time and I didn't notice because I'm bad at my job. And she's just like, what are you talking about? And he's like, look, bullets from the tire of your motorcycle. And she's like, oh no. Meanwhile, though, Ida, who's been doing work in the meat packing shop, is like, I'm hungry. I'm going to go get some whipped cream and marshmallows. And she goes into the kitchen and I shit you not, puts whipped cream on a drumstick and is eating it when she sees Bruce and Terry coming out of that room awake. She attacks Bruce. Bruce gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Then she takes Terry to the meat room. And she's like, now we got to kill her. And Vincent's like, no, now we got to give her the truth of the meats.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
Did you say putting whipped cream on like chicken is a bad idea?
Yeah, I would say if you're marinating your chicken in buttermilk, good idea.
Because it's more sweet.
No. Putting more canned whipped cream onto cold chicken.
What's that cheese that can be whipped and kind of creamy that you put on pizza?
Cream cheese.
No. Like
ricotta.
Is it ricotta?
Ricotta, yeah, ricotta.
That would be good on a wing.
It would be good on a wing.
That would be, but that's not what it is. It is whipped cream. But what you're describing sounds delicious. On board. What I'm not on board for is, and I mean whipped cream like whipped cream on a chicken leg.
That was like a real good impression of a whipped cream can.
Thank you. I'm like...
That was the impression of a whipped cream can from someone who's done a shitload of whippets.
I actually don't know how whippets work.
I do, because I used to work with a bunch of stoners when I worked at restaurants.
I mean...
That's exactly what someone who does it says, Paige.
She lost those brain cells doing whippets.
I do not know how drugs work, officer.
Ossifer. And I know how you would do it in like a traditional whipped cream canister where you have the like little chargers. I don't know how people do it with just the store-bought cans, and I've never tried. Can you? I assume you can, right? Do you have to wait till it's empty? I don't know.
I don't know either.
We don't need to know. We can move past it. Yeah, like it was just a good joke I made.
Anyway, so... At this point, Vincent is like, yeah, no, let's teach her about the meats. And she's like, what the fuck? It's people? And he's like, long before the time of science. And he just like goes off on his weird worldview. And it makes no sense.
He's a man of principle. He has his own ideals.
Off to write that hit song, Alone in My Principles. But meanwhile, the heads are breaking free and digging themselves out of the ground, led by Bo, her motorcycle boyfriend.
Yes.
And they like make their way up to the motel. They kill Ida, just like out.
They do. She is attacked like zombies in what I can only describe as a 4.5 minute push fight.
Yes.
Where they eventually slowly lower her to the ground and she's, quote, dead?
Dead, question mark?
Tell me I'm wrong, Mikey. Like, nobody does anything except for gently push each other.
I was trying to make an I dead joke. She's I dead. I dead.
I did.
I still think Yuda's the best.
Dida.
You did.
Honestly, when Marshall Mathers sampled Dida, loved it.
Paige, how do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
Oh, yes. I love it. I can't wait. Oh, my God, Paige. I can't wait for the punchline.
Fresh Prince.
Oh my God, I loved it. I did love it. I built it up because I thought it would be like a funny way to like undercut it and it wouldn't be a good joke. And it was a good joke. I loved it. Way to subvert my assholeness. I love it.
Here's what's wild. As someone who literally writes jokes for a living, I'm terrible at the dad jokes where I'm just like, is it an I Am Legend pun? Where would they go with this? Oh God, Fresh Prince, of course. Anyway, but we cut back to the meat room where he's still like, and the environment, like he's still like Doc Browning all over.
I mean, you guys have seen Inconvenient Truth. Al Gore goes on about how we got to eat 1 billion people like a lot.
The whole time.
He focuses on it a lot. I think it makes me uncomfortable.
I think at this point we got to go to 2 billion.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff that's happened this year.
Yeah. Can I give you a list of people to start with?
Who are you, Frida at the end of Blink Twice? AKA the villain of Blink Twice 2? Or is it Blink both? Hang on, what's the sequel going to be to Blink? Is it Blink 11? Hang on.
I think it's Blink 132. 100%.
Yeah, there we go. That's the other joke. We got there.
It's Blink 130, 2.
Guys, all we got to do is get the nurse from the album cover.
She's dead.
All we got to do is get someone that looks like the nurse from the album cover.
Yes.
I can't believe she died.
Yeah, recently, like during COVID.
I thought it'd be like, instead of blink twice, it'd be like pull the ear. Is this the other symbol of that you're in distress?
Oh, I didn't even connect that. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, fine. Yeah, this place has just really gone downhill.
I didn't know those symbols, but now I do, and I'm gonna freak people out at the airport later. Hey, Carol Burnett's daughter.
Hey, Mom, why is that weird lady making SOS with her eyes in Morse code? Damn it, John, you know it's Morse code.
Don't bring John into this. I'm not bringing Janice to the airport.
Mikey doesn't know about John. I forgot about that.
Mikey doesn't know about John or Janice.
Oh, you missed out, Mikey.
You missed out. I'm sorry. Anyway, as he's going on this tirade, Bo, her boyfriend, 3 Amigos dummy drops from the roof.
Hell yeah.
Into the meat room. Just crashes. And then hops up and fights and is killed almost immediately. It's almost like it was completely worthless.
And she's right back to where she was last week with her boyfriend dead.
She's like, oh my God, Bo, you're alive. Oh my God, Bo, you're dead again. It's instant. It's so fast.
It's instant, but lucky for her, Bruce is up and ready to be an undeserving hero in this movie. He runs into the room and he's like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. But who should appear? Vincent in the pig mask with a chainsaw. So then Bruce grabs a chainsaw, and you'd think that a chainsaw sword fight would be awesome. And it is in TCM2. It is not here. It goes on way too long. It is super anticlimactic and hard to see.
I did like that Vince was just hysterically laughing the whole time under the pig mask. That was creepy.
Yeah.
But the fight was terrible.
But while that's all happening, Terry is tied down to a table that is moving towards a meat slicer. So we have like a ticking time clock.
It's a ticking meat slicer clock, technically. But yeah.
This is basically the end of a Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon.
Right.
In cannibal form. Yeah.
It is. Boris and Natasha are just about to come on and explain what we just watched. Like, that's where we are in this scene, right?
Right.
But like, Sheriff Brother or whatever is like, finally gets Vincent to like hurt himself on his chainsaw in a weird way. The fight's not great.
Yeah.
But he then like Indiana Jones, but like...
Yeah, swings from the other room.
Yeah, but for no reason. He could have like run through the door, but no, he swings through a wall?
You gotta look cool, bro.
But he's not like Indiana Jones cool. He's like Kansas Joe. Like, it doesn't look cool. It looks like, why did you do that, Kansas Joe?
I would have done it.
But he does get to that meat slicer in time, so he doesn't end up lonely.
Oh, Paige. I would not have spent so much time on Kansas Joe had I known you were sitting on Balonely. Come on. We got to start doing a shared doc.
I don't know. I like Kansas Joe style barbecue.
I can't wait to have Kansas Joe barbecue at Panic Fest.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's going to be slaps again, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait. We should go every day. I'm so excited.
We can't, because one day you're going to make me go to Quilt Town. And by make me, I mean, can we go? I want to get shakes.
We're absolutely going. In fact, your wife texted me earlier today to ask if we could make shirts that says Horror Virgin does Quilt Town.
Hell yes. Let's do it.
Also, Mikey, we got to figure out your flights.
What? Quilt Town doesn't have its own airport?
No, it does not.
You have to quilt a parachute on your way down.
There's too many flight accidents lately. I'm like really not having it.
That's actually the final test to get into Quilt Team 6. They push you out of a plane at 30,000 feet with nothing but yarn and 2 sticks you found out of the air.
You might not know this, but Quilt Team 6 is actually like 30 people. Anyway, that's basically the end of the movie.
I mean, it is kind of the end of the movie, but let me say this, because so much happens between him Kansas Joeing into the room and saving Taylor, because he saves her just in time so he can like run them both back into the room that Vincent is in. Like, look, he's dead, but no, he's not dead, Paige. He wakes up and he like staggers towards them and then like falls back down and then reads his will. Like, thank God these 2 people were here so that Vincent could dictate his will to them. I was like, this is honestly perfect. It's exactly the way they do it in Les Mis. I love it. No notes.
Why don't you fucking dick taste this, Will, motherfucker? I'm sorry.
Dick, taste my sweet, salty meats.
Nice.
But he also, his dying words, guys, Vincent's dying words. This man who holds within him the recipe for the perfect combination between pork and human meat that you just can't resist.
Right.
His final last words were, my meats, I use preservatives. Death. I laughed out loud.
So funny.
And was also like offended. I was like, you son of a bitch, you did it, Vincent. You fucking did it. You played the game and just lied your ass off till the end.
Not since Chocolate Chip Charlie, no, has an ending been so nuts.
Okay, but like if you're making jerky, you have to use some preservatives. I think they don't have to be bad.
I mean, the smoking process is part of the preserving process.
I mean, yes, but you could preserve it more and then sell it at Buc-ee's.
If you're going to package it and sell it at Buc-ee's, then you got to add like nitrates and stuff.
Ooh, I love me a good nitrate. But the movie's not over, guys, because we get yet more commentary when they go to the head garden and they find, I think it's Ida, buried.
I think it's Ida's legs, yeah.
Upside down, still alive. And I was like, damn, just like Peter.
Get out of my fucking brain.
What?
That's what I was
Guys, the commentary in Motel Hell is nuts. If you're smart enough to see it, right? Like, you might not notice the points they're trying to make. Actually, I don't think they're trying to make any points, but I loved it. I love that, Mikey, you said it perfectly. Oh, we should do the
And that's the movie.
So, having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you guys think about Motel Hell? I loved it.
It's good. It's like really good commentary on America right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think of another meat pun, and I don't have one, so balonely.
Couldn't go pun, went callback.
Yeah, there you go. I think Mikey said it best when he said, some stuff happens, and then other stuff happens, and we saw it. And that is what happened.
It's one of the movies that we've done.
Honestly, if we were looking for Google reviews of this movie, that would most definitely be the best one.
Yes. Yeah. Of like, I did see it with my eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was good. It was, it's nice.
Yeah. I had a very good time talking about it with both of you.
Yeah.
How about that?
I had a good time watching it.
I think I enjoyed it more knowing that I had friends that I could that were going through this experience with me. And so I was excited that we were going to be able to talk about it, right? If you don't have people in your life that you can do that with, I can imagine this is less fun to watch alone. Like, if you're just there eating a sandwich of bologna and watching this movie, like...
A bologna sandwich.
I like sandwich of bologna because it's weird. It's like when I say potato-based chip, fully well knowing that you can just say potato chip.
Well, there are other chips now. I mean, these stupid vegans have gotten their hands on chips. There's apple chips now and almond chips and all that crap.
You know what else is vegan, Mikey? Potato chips.
I know. Why they even need the other kind?
Because they want to eat a chippy apple, Mikey.
Plant-based fries all over again.
Vegans don't get enough hate. That's a controversial opinion.
I don't think it is.
A cold take, if you will.
I think they get plenty.
Mikey is sick of vegans' cold farting war, the Cold War between vegans and humanity.
Look, okay, society is collapsing, and I can narrow it down to the wide acceptance of the gluten-free lifestyle.
No, Mikey, no.
Paige, it's well known. It's a choice.
You people, when you had to just stay at home and there wasn't a lot of options and stuff, the world was better.
No.
Can you guys argue that?
Yes.
Mikey's against gluten-free and toot-and-freeze. It's cold first.
As soon as Olive Garden had to have unlimited gluten-free bread, that's when I knew we were doomed.
Wait, you can get unlimited gluten-free bread at Olive Garden?
The fact that I don't know if that's true and you don't know if that's true, that tells you where we are as a society.
You can get never-ending gluten-free pasta at Olive Garden when they have their never-ending pasta bowls.
Why are we not recording there?
I know, I fucking love Olive Garden, and I'm not ashamed as an Italian with a pasta tattoo to admit that.
I mean, Italians have their Taco Bell, and it's called Olive Garden.
Mikey, I got a new tattoo.
I see. It's a bow tie.
It's a bow tie.
Bow tie pasta noodle, please.
Farfalle.
Excuse me. Is it gluten-free?
No. And it's non-vegan because it's on my meat.
All right, Paige. Well, do you have any fun facts for us?
Yeah, sure.
Well, here it is with your fun facts.
Garden
Motel
Head fun facts. At the time, United Artists marketed this movie as a straightforward horror film as opposed to a comedy horror.
Oh, had they not seen it?
Yeah. They thought the comedy part would drive away potential audiences, but the tagline, "You might just die laughing," still appeared on many of the posters.
I mean, good call.
So people were very confused. Now, originally, Tobe Hooper was supposed to direct this.
Awesome.
But when the studio kind of didn't want to fund the bizarre project, Tobe Hooper departed, ultimately to make TCM2, which I think is a lot like this movie.
Oh my God.
So
Can you imagine?
maybe that's why.
It is a lot like this. It's just not smoked meats. It's chili. Other than that, it's more or less this.
It's more or less this, although more fun. I still think TCM2 is the more fun movie.
Yes, because you have
Agreed.
Easy Rider as a sheriff losing his mind.
With bandoliers, yes. So the role of Sheriff Bruce Smith was specifically written for Paul Linke, the actor who played him, to play, because much like Reggie Bannister in the Phantasm movies, he went to college with the co-writer and co-producer Robert Jaffe.
Man, I wish my friends were more successful. Like,
Wow.
Rude.
I know, Paige, do better. Let me ride them coattails.
I'm trying. I literally flew to a place to try and do better, and all I have to say about that is, oh, you're still here?
That was famously not said to you, though, Paige.
It was not said to me. No.
Because she who it was said to may never recover. She's in critical condition.
She is on whatever island Drake retreated to survive Kendrick's ire, I suppose, probably.
It's the Epstein Island. That's well known.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely Epstein's Island. Yeah.
It's the last place they'd look.
This film's original screenplay was darker and more disturbing, and as I alluded to earlier in my theories about Vincent, included a more disturbing story with bestiality and a lot more violence, and it wasn't a comedy. So
Gross.
yeah. Now, Vincent is played by Rory Calhoun. He was around 57 years old when he made this movie, but it was his first major role in quite a while. He had been more famous when he was younger, and so he became top billing for this movie. So there was an additional scene with Reverend Billy officiating a wedding at the church.
What?
Not the wedding.
Okay, not Vincent and Terry?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else's wedding.
Good.
But it was cut from the final version of the film.
Probably also good.
Yeah. Now, this is actually pretty fun fact, but the interiors of the motel, the farm, and the smokehouse were shot on constructed sets at Laird International Studios in Culver City, California, which when you guys were in LA, we drove right past, basically.
Yeah.
The majority of its exteriors and the location filming were shot in Canyon Country near Santa Clarita, and that's kind of the exterior ranches, so just not the interiors.
Cool.
But the shot of Vincent wearing the pig's head made Fangoria number 9's cover, which is pretty fun.
Okay.
And this was shot in 5 weeks, which is too long for how bad it is.
But it's also so believable.
Yep. And I'll leave you on this one because I think it's the most crazy. Farmer Vincent was originally supposed to be played by, any guesses?
James Earl Jones.
No, but that would have been incredible.
James Earl Jones' dad.
No, also incredible, Mikey.
Ooh, Bill Gates.
Unlikely, but I respect the choice.
Oh, who would be a good one? I don't know. I have no idea.
Gordon Ramsay.
No. Ooh.
Oh, Vincent Price?
No. It's Harry Dean Stanton.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a wee bit about box office. So what do you think the production budget was for Motel Hell in 1980?
I'm going to guess a bag of pig feed, some fertilizer, and maybe a Slim Jim.
Might be a little bit too much, Paige. But what do you think, Mikey?
I am going to guess $500,000.
Guys, it was actually $3 million.
No!
I was a little surprised by that budget because, I mean, that's not a very big budget today.
In 1980?
Yeah.
But in 1980, that's like, it's a little over $11.5 million today.
Can you look up something for me really quick for comparison?
Sure.
How much did Back to the Future cost?
$15 million.
Okay, so that should give you an an idea.
So it should be 1/5 of Back to the Future.
Sorry, it was $19 million. Forgive me. I guessed and I was a little bit wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, there are a lot of movies from the 80s that are way better than this that are around $3 million. So it's like,
False.
I mean, production-wise, Mikey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But are there any movies that are better than this? I mean, it's a debatable.
I think it's a debate that wouldn't take very long. But
Only you were having. Yeah.
let's talk about how it did when it came out in October of 1980, because of course it came out in October of 1980 and in theaters in that month. And I know this is a weird way to differentiate because I actually don't have the weekly breakdown. I have like literally all the movies that premiered in the month of October and where this stacked up against all the movies that were like released in the month of October, because that's the way they used to track box office information. And so that's what I have. But out of all this is surprising, honestly. 10 movies came out in the month of October in 1980, and this was 5th in the box office for all of those 10 movies. It was beat by Private Benjamin, My Bodyguard, Oh God, Book 2, whatever that is, Somewhere in Time, and then Motel Hell was number 5. But what do you think, and I'm just going to ask because it didn't track week over week, what do you think it made total at the box office?
$5 million.
No, I don't think it made its budget back. 2.1 million.
Oh, Paige, it was the 80s. People were so starved for any kind of content. This made $6.3 million. So it more than doubled its budget, definitely made money in theaters.
Are there any sequels to this?
There needs to be many.
I don't think so.
No, they used to make horror sequels out of like $100,000 profit. They're like, oh, we should do it again.
They did.
There is no official sequel to Motel Hell, not even a fan sequel. So yeah.
Amazing.
Nothing.
It's your time,
Yes.
film community.
Make one. But that's your box office. Mikey, do you want to hit us with that scary scale?
Oh, God. Yeah, sure. Our scary scale is a scale of 1 to 10 of how scary we found the film when we watched it today. It's not a reflection of quality, correct?
It is not.
Right.
That's correct.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Same.
I'm going to give my frustration at you doing the scary scale better than you've ever done it, having taken a year off, a 10 on my frustration list. But this movie's definitely 1. This movie's a comedy. It's not scary at all.
And that's our scary scale.
Yeah. So this week, Mikey, you made us watch Motel Hell, having, watched it many times yourself and doing a lot of research, or maybe just reading a blog about it once and thinking it would be a fun movie to do. But Mikey, what are you going to make us watch next week as we continue Mikey Movie March?
All right, so for next week, we're going to watch another one, which I haven't seen, but is on my list.
You haven't seen it, Mikey?
No.
Wow, I kind of love that we're getting a bunch of movies, like Mikey movies, that Mikey hasn't seen.
Yeah.
I have seen it, and fuck yes.
Did we say what it was?
We're going to watch Night of the Demons.
So your homework for next week is to watch the 1988 Night of the Demons. Wow.
It's streaming everywhere. It is a Linnea Quigley classic. And I'm just going to say that y'all ain't ready for what she does with her lipstick. Enjoy that for later.
Oh my God. Is this where they got lipstick parties from?
Maybe.
Love it. Can't wait. Guys, do your homework for next week and then check back for that episode on Night of the Demons.
Hey, Todd, do you have any reviews for us?
I do. This week, I'm going to read a Spotify comment from our most recent Blink Twice episode. And a lot of them were related to, yay, Mikey's coming back for a month. Some of them just were like Mikey, like one long word, all lowercase, oddly enough, not uppercase, but clearly some excitement there, just like low effort excitement.
You don't want to overstate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to read this one from Claire McTip. And guys, if you have not tried Ronald McDonald's McTip,
I was going to say,
you're not doing it right.
I love McTip.
And Miss McTip says, oh my God, Paige needs to write a comedy, novel or movie, with a girl aggressively following the rules for billionaires, and the billionaire in question genuinely wants to get to know her. Maybe it ends with him losing all his money so they can be together. I don't know. I'm not a writer. And listen, you are a writer, because what you just described is the plot to Superman 2, and he does give up his powers to be with Lois Lane, and it goes badly.
Yep, that is true, actually.
Anyway, Anyway, Clara McTip, thank you so much for the Mick Spotify comment. And if you want to have me read your Spotify comment and or 5-star review, leave us a Spotify comment or 5-star review and I'll do just that. So guys, if you like this show but want to hear Paige and I talk about romantic comedies or just regular romantic movies, check out our other podcast. Some might call it a sister podcast called Romancing the Pod, where we do just that weekly. It's a lot like this show, but for romance and romantic comedies, because Paige doesn't like them. So we make her watch them, just like you guys make me watch horror over here. But if you want to follow me, I am at Todd J. Awesome on all the social media. Paige is at Rampage Wesley on Instagram?
Yes, and TikTok.
And just Paige Wesley on Twitter, because you got that before some CEO lady and she wanted it, but you wouldn't give it back. And I respect you for that.
Refuse.
Also, Paige
Suck it, other Paige Wesley.
Paige is also on another podcast. It's great. You should check it out. It's called Cult Podcast with Armando Torres, who is a wonderful person. And if you want to support this show, go to Patreon at patreon.com/horrorvirgin, where there are a lot of great levels and a lot of great things. We do the Patreon shout outs at the beginning of every episode. We do listener requests, stuff like that, bonus episodes. So you'll be getting all of that content, plus episodes a day early with no ads, and who doesn't love that? So sign up for the Patreon and get a lot of great stuff.
And that's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm your horror virgin, Todd.
Keep it ooky spooky.
Yeah.
Have an amazing week.
Bye.
Month. Have an amazing month.
And then we put Mikey back in the vault. Nerds.
Fuck you, vegans.